4 goes to 3 gateway. So that is the way forward as we see it right now. We are trying to intensify the search, and that will make us to get all the clearance. Get all the clearance from where we got things together, as the penalty have been proven very efficient for us to continue V8 right now as we take on our South Africa, the Senegal, the Senegal here. Continue pushing until we get up the sky. It there for draw now. There for draw. I can give you. So guys, let's see it as it's happening right now. So that is where we try to see the renovation at the end of the challenge. Soyez les bienvenus, mesdames et messieurs. Aujourd'hui, c'est notre jour pour rencontrer avec le 4e finale de ce tournoi entre Afrique du Sud et Sénégal. Et maintenant, on a vécu un très bon moment entre la main de Algérie et les Ghana. Les Ghana, ils ont qualifié pour joindre Nigeria et le Maroc. Voilà les trois cas de finalistes, demi-finalistes qui sont déjà prêts à remporter le trophée de cette WAFCON 2024. C'est évident et c'est clair pour qu'on peut plus voir par ailleurs comment on peut affronter jusqu'à la fin. And now we want to take a look at what South Africa will look like when we are bringing more opportunities for them to present in one way or the other. Let's recount the lineup of South Africa with you guys right away. We are going to recount the lineup of South Africa as we see it right now. So guys, South Africa are using a lineup of 4-4-1, 4-5-1. That's a technicality, as we see 4-5-1 as a formidable formation when we see Zlanini, Magama, Mbane, Makubela, Zlanini, Ramapele, Mathalu, Jane, Haluweni, Magai, Saposewin. And when we look at Senegal are using a lineup of 4-3-3, usual formation. This is Ndiaye, Dembele, Ndiaye 4, Babu, Sek 4, Jakite, Ndiaye, Diop, and Badi. So guys, this is the lineup of both teams as we pick up the line to rush the game right now and see if it is going to be that same scenario that we have been expecting, notwithstanding the fact that we still have to keep our focus and we still have to keep our mindset full of inspiration as we see the tactical analysis being given to us. So it's already key and it's already presentable, seeing how South Africa are ready to break boundaries versus Algeria versus Senegal. That is it, as we could see it in the tactical lineups when we are really approaching the formation, as it has always been more confidential in what we call more sincere game for them to be giving it out in their numbers. So let's get the deal done as we pull out right now with Ghana 4 and Nigeria eliminated from the showpiece. We have started the game as we see France to take on Germany as well. We started the game, and now South Africa are pulling up the string against Senegal with their first few minutes of game time. That will be a symbol of respect to see if supremacy will really recount the story here as well. If that be the case, we are still going to be optimistic about seeing who get up and start moving. So we have always waited for the right time, and the game between Nigeria and Ghana is one of the best games of the tournament, as we could only see finalizing via a penalty to really show the potentials and who holds the flag and who holds the upper hands. Now we are getting up with the strategies at hand, trying to build more momentum and gathering the fact and bringing in something more key, more peculiar to the game timeline, when we could still see some key fixture that have happened time and again, and that is the way forward for us to be observing. We can really draw a little bit of understanding to get it up, as it is still going to be set for the algorithm to carry up, still put up in a more trending ways. Honestly, I give you space. Huh? Let's see if goals will be coming that easily for us to continue seeing it. So at this juncture, we try to pick up and we try to do more game timeline, as in the midst of doing a highlight for us to continue seeing it at that point where we have already examined. So guys, this is what we call an interesting challenge, as we share with you the highlight of what has happened between Nigeria and Ghana. Obviously, as we are seeing on the platform, 1 goal to 0, it's obviously 4 goals to 2, as I think that is what we have seen and that is what we have observed from far. And it was really a nice game to have seen that both teams have battled for the full 90 minutes without a goal, extra time without a goal, and eventually goes into the penalty, where we saw the first two Ghana by Nigeria Dafo, and the first penalty of Ghana by Bonso was being scored. Second, we see Gelati of Algeria equalizes to make it 2 goals, 1 goal to one. And the second players of Ghana, Badawa, scored to lead it 2 goals to one. And the third player of Algeria, Belomo, threw it out to make it still 2 goals to one. But already three players of Algeria split. And the third player of Ghana plays Boye Loka to make it 3 goals to one. And finally, the fourth player of Algeria, Mula, scored to make it 3 goals to one. Then we saw Badu finalizing the fourth player of Ghana to make it at least 4 goals to two. And that is where we discover that Algeria could not do anything rather than going for uh, backlash, and we declare Ghana the favorite and the semi-finalists. Guys, congratulations to the Black Queens. They have done it, and we are really happy to see that they joined the like of Nigeria and Morocco while we wait for complete their show as they are on it right away. That is really a challenge as we continue to see it all the way Ghana, all the way Ghana, all the way Ghana. So South Africa are here trying to pull back, trying to get into the game, into proper, and that will be a sign of respect for them to be recalibrating and galvanizing with a goal margin that will be significant as we see the first 6 minutes of game time in a and South Africa injury. South Africa injury, we want to see something exceptional here, guys. We want to see something exceptional here as South Africa, the Bayana looks forward in giving us a clear overview of their match challenge as we see the winning probability. Now it stands at 73% winning probability for South Africa and 14% winning probability for Senegal. That is really something that we need to look forward. If the probability we recount the story for us, will probability really recount the story for us, guys? Let us know your own viewpoints as we see it. If probability can play the game, then we want to see it here. We want to see it here if probability can do something. But as of now, the first few minutes we have experienced the game, South Africa is playing at 28% ball position, while Senegal is playing at 72% ball position. That is domination. But Senegal, if they are wise enough, they need to like undergo a complete metamorphosis to make an amendment running with the theoretical aspect of this game to correlate with the practical aspect. That is France in the quarterfinal against Germany, still trying to build plus. Sudani, Sami, that is already 8 minutes of game time, and we want to like take into consideration what will be happening from the look of things. It might be really challenging, but not an impossibility for both teams to still make it here for the sun to shine. You know, early domination is not really domination. Early domination is not really domination because it's just a matter of time for the players to understand what the lineup looks like and build on that to challenge the opponent when supremacy is equally applying. It applies. It is really interesting to find out more about that same alternation when we are bringing in from afar. But right now, we want to like believe that everything is happening accordingly, because from there we can pick up one or two and we can finalize the challenge. in all the angles that they seems to be giving us here. So let's see what happens, guys. It's already the end, as we have already witnessed 4 goals to or 2 challenge as an interesting gateway toward bringing the standard victory between both teams. So had it been, we are still to consider and we are still to expand our narratives on what the game timeline will look like. Then we could still build on that. We could still get it up. We could still build on that. We could still get it all in one angle before landing in bed, where we can really understand better. Into maneuver Nigeria, either by South Africa by or by Senegal. So let's move it up and see where the contention lies. It might not be easy, but what we need is to hold up and that is what we expect. So guys, that is where we bring in some of the key prospects as we understand better what is to happen, as Algeria have already done their part and they could not get it right. We are now left with Senegal to showcase their own talent before we are going to build on it and make it what it is, before leveraging what is key and what is primordial for the game itself to go one on one, to make it focused to, which is what we witnessed so far from Algeria against Ghana. Let's see if it is going to be a repetition here. It's going to be a repetition here. The quarterfinal challenge is real. Quarterfinal challenge is real. We could really never underestimate the effort that brings Algeria here. That will be same effort we are going to see when we are building on momentum. Momentum and effort when we see a whole lot of manifestation to make it all up in one angle so that we can better understand when we put forth some key prospect to spice up the game. The game will obviously be spiced, guys. We just need to stay focused and see, observe what will be happening. You just need to observe. If Ghana could do it, then we wait for South Africa, as they seem to be one of the plus and one of the most respected teams in the African continent when it comes to a tournament like this. But that alone, we have a recount and a story for us to tell. Penalties. That was a great one, as we could see it. 16 minutes of game time, which means we have already exhausted the first 15 minutes of game time. That is, the first quarter has gone by with no goals yet, and we believe maybe this will be ending on a note of penalty. Yay. That will be ending in a note of penalty if we are keen to enough see it happen. Penalty will be what we are going to see if they don't take it seriously. We are officially going to see penalty here at the end. If we want to keep forth, if we want to bring in what is ideal and what is due for consumption, it should be now, and it should give us more of that same manifestation. Getting closer and looking for a gateway. So let's see what happened, guys. We are up. 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 Voilà les œuvres comme on a vécu ici. Voilà les œuvres comme on a vécu. And that is how we got to the challenge right now, looking for a gateway on how to build momentum and how to build a challenge, looking on every key aspect that will be giving us the strive to bring in something. Dans ce moment, on est en train de vécu un moment très très difficile entre la main de Algérie, la main de Afrique du Sud. Afrique du Sud et le Sénégal qui sont en train de nous donner 20 minutes, 25 minutes de jeu sans but. 21 minutes de jeu sans but. Ça peut nous promouvoir jusqu'à that is a goal. France have scored against Germany. France have scored against Germany in the UEFA Euro Women's Championship. We got it as a plus. France 1, Germany 0. That was a quick one from France. And Germany have gotten a red card, guys. Germany got a red card. Germany got a red card. That was to like streams up something and make it look more appetizing. France vs Germany is what we see here. If that is the way forward, then we have no choice but to look at it one way or the other. Getting the red card coming at 13 minutes, and that was a penalty. Katrin Hedrich got a red card for Germany, and that is something we need to like figure out what could be hanging out. Now South Africa 0, Sénégal 0. Ça c'est 0 but à 0. Maintenant, comme on est en train de vécu 7 moments pour se manipuler et pour nous donner match. At this point, we are already looking forward to see who qualifies, and now we play 23 minutes, knowing fully well that in the next 22 minutes we should see the first half whistle comes into effect. We should see the first whistle comes into effect. That will give us all that we are looking for. In the meantime, if at all we are going to be seeing it all the way, then it's now. We like to pick up, we like to finalize the deal. In every angle we see them coming to really be of great importance. And right now, if we see South Africa trying to build on that same footing that they have gotten enough challenge from there, we are not going to really like take a glance and make it like it doesn't matter. But it matters, guys. It matters right away. If we are seeing it here, it really matters. We need to see it, what it's all about, because it's really interesting to see that at this level South Africa are playing 49% ball position against 51. Senegal is dominating with 3 shots off target, 1 shot on target, while South Africa stays at 2 shots off target, 1 shot on target, and they are still bouncing, and we get that as statistical data with correlation, while Germany are backing it up with 10 ladies against 11. Can this really be something we want to see it happen? 10 ladies against 11. Will Germany be able to survive this storm? Will Germany be ready to survive this storm? That is what we want to know, if they can stand the chance. But it's never too late until we see it coming as a late challenge. And right now, we can really conclude that it's already 25 minutes of game time, remaining 20 more minutes to the end. South Africa 0, Senegal 0, one of the second toughest game. At least it's really nice. The first two set of games were 3 goals to 1, 5 goals to 0, and now we are seeing second set giving us a tight and a more stringent schedules. This is really interesting. This is officially viable and optimistic. This will be a record breaking challenge as the Total Energy AFCON 2024 is on the go. That is already 29 minutes of game time and still at the verge of 0-0. Still at the verge of 0-0. South Africa 0, Senegal 0. It's time to get up and start moving. We are probably going to see that as a plus. And if it is going to a different direction, then it will obviously have to be a breaking through for either South Africa or for Senegal, because Senegal have came very prepared. They came very prepared here. To leave officially no stone unturned, so that we can still break it up and gain the position as we intend. And right now, that is really a challenge. France, Germany have done it. Congratulations to Germany. They did it. 1 goal to 1. Germany did it. One goal to one. 1 goal to one. Germany did it. Germany did it. 1 goal to one. And now we got it that Germany can really write their story clearly than anybody who is trying to rewrite it for them. Germany can really write their story clearly, as we saw already 28-minute goal, 28-minute goal, 28-minute goal by Germany. It's really interesting to see how Joke Nosken, despite penalty, could really defend their title, could really draw their attention, could really make it possible in a more variable ways. We could still get it up. That will be giving us a ready-made and a more interesting challenge where we are going to be leaving practically no stone unturned to see that Senegal brings back their force where they have kept it, and it's really working out for them. Germany are hammering against France. 10 ladies. This is really surprising to see that 10 ladies can score 11 ladies on the ground. And we are heating it up right now as we keep the candle burning to see the scene continue. And we need to really observe at different angles if things will happen right way, things will go on successfully, the gateway, as it will be a concerning matter for an umbilical challenge that get it up to that level. As 35 minutes goes on, we can see South Africa plays at 54% possession against 46, which means South Africa is already position-wise dominating. They are already position-wise dominating against Senegal, while Senegal are already trials-wise dominating against South Africa with an enormous 4 shot off target, 2 shot on target, while South Africa are back with 2 shot on target and 1 shot off target. That is still something very justifiable, as they could still land it big at any moment, taking us all in one angle and in one position to make it here for the sun to shine. And if we agree to stay first and bring it back, then it is going to be the right moment for us to take in and still call it a day, when we are already relinquishing Senegal in one more atmospheric condition that favors them in all aspects. 35 minutes, we have 10 more minutes to go. We have 10 more minutes to go till the end of this session, and that is where we are going to be justifying if it's the right time or not. But as of now, we keep pushing and we keep seeing things the opposite direction, if the reverse will be true or not. we're handing it officially with the justification that we need to bring back the final quarter finalists to semi-finalists. Three people, three teams are ready. Three teams are ready, waiting for number four, which will either be South Africa or Ghana or Senegal. It will either be South Africa or Senegal. So let's get it all here in one session. Let's get it done as we continue to pull up, as we continue to hammer it out. That will give us South Africa ambition and Senegal ambition as well, as both teams are not struggling in their prospect. Asa, Asa, you never start for cut round two. Go chop now. I know say that your name, so now go chop. We're trying to get it all on the way as the referee review in progress. This might be the opportunity, this might be the mighty opportunity to get things together by making a deal where it's necessary to pull back on one occasion, trying to look it more redefined in their manners. Although we can see France dominating at 66% ball position against 34, Germany still remain determined with one corner kicks, one shot on target, one shot off target, and one red card, while France is there with 66% ball position, three shot on target, one shot off target, as a means to really redefine and rebuild themselves in a more structural manner that can bring us result, but not limited to any ways. We can see the atmospheric condition being conducive in their own ways, and they are blatantly looking for a way to bring back more concentrated challenge in that ground where we seek for the finalists here. It will be another gateway, will be another plus to see South Africa, as the review have not provided any opportunity that could be either a free kick or a penalty, so that they can use it to clarify and stand a chance of getting up the score sheet by giving us the first goal of this game. It seems as if today's game we are not going to see goal in the official 90 minutes. We are only going to be seeing extra time and penalty timeline, extra time and penalty gateways, which will really make it more uneasy for teams to rise up and get their name on the score sheet. If that is it now, we could still get it up as we close the gap that is presenting the deficit in our own midst. So that will be the transparency in it as we walk toward the next 45 minutes of game time. 45 minutes of game time. 45 minutes of game time as we get it up here. Are they? How for you? Yeah. Okay. And that is how we get it up as we get closer in handling different challenges. That is 40 minutes of game time. So that is it, guys. 41 minutes, and we see some of the dangerous attack from some of the dangerous attack, some of the dangerous attack from Senegal, stipulating they have to get up and they have to start moving. As we see, 73% winning probability for South Africa and 14% as we still recount the story properly with the first yellow card of the game in the hands of Ndiaye. Ndiaye got the first yellow card of the game, and it is for Senegal with their 4-3-3 and the 4-5-1 lineup for both teams. Ramalipe, the star, is still looking forward as Saposewin faces the like of Diop as we intend to get the first goal of this challenge either in the second half or in the build-up line. And that will be giving us right away as we are still leaning toward a draw in this first half. None of the quarter finalists have done what we are seeing in the hands of South Africa and Senegal, likewise Algeria and Ghana. They are one of the good matches we have seen in the tournament so far. We think Algeria match seems to be the final, as we can really say it seems to be the final. Algeria match seems to be the final, as we got it here while we observe France 1, Germany 1 at 43 minutes. We have at least 2 minutes to go to the end of this first half, and that we revive the players to know what to do, what to expect, and what to upgrade as a means of getting things together. And if that is the call for concern, then we should already see it coming our way. We should not be limited on how we give it out, because it's probably going to be a challenge where we are going to see more fixture of this kind. That is Senegal trying in a dangerous attack. Senegal trying in a more dangerous attack to get the wheel and get the goal up. To get the deal and get the wheel up. Why South Africa are building a very solid defense line that seems unbreakable for the ideal match challenge. So right now we are going to be observing, we are going to be admitting the fact that 3 minutes has been added, and it's a draw game. Draw game for the first half, probably. That is seeing a draw, and we could give the benefit of doubt within this few 3 minutes we got to see if there will be an opportunity as France conclude with Germany at 45 minutes. At 45 minutes to see it up. That will be really giving us a clue on how to go about this challenge. Can we see 4 minutes? 4 minutes of injury time in the hands of Germany versus France, where we are already concluding South Africa 0, Senegal 0 the first half. Let's get it on here as we continue to pull up. South Africa 0, Senegal 0. This is really an interesting match to watch. Really an interesting match to watch as we keep moving up the sky.
Este, Alpha. Just if you busy, if you leave a move,
That is how we see a dangerous attack here. Dangerous attack. As we continue to pour in. First half challenge, and we get it there. And we could still see it as a flying challenge here. That is the end. That is the end. We got it clear. That is the end. We have come to the end of first half, and South Africa happens to be up the sky. And Senegal. I leave you when you sleep, Azza. Mm-hmm. Mango, mango kitchen. Huh? I know. Plane took off again, heading north toward Pyongyang. But as they neared the 38th parallel, the pilot received a radio message. So, guys, at this point, we are going to be observing everything as we get it up in a more strategized manner, as South Africa have done it well. Jean-Luc Pignon, South Africa gave us a brilliant outfit, but we are not saying it to be brilliant because they didn't do anything as expected. We were like trying to see if they could break the first deadlock ahead of Senegal. It didn't happen, despite the fact that Senegal, they are lacking in their probability of domination. South Africa have dominated Senegal throughout, although at one moment it's fluctuating, but we got the greater share of the position in the hands of South Africa as they finalize the deal with 57% ball position against 43 in favor of South Africa, landing it big with South Africa giving us one shot off target, one shot on target, and one corner kick. While Senegal here were on the verge of giving us lesser position, but with two shot off target, two shot on target, and zero corner kicks. That seems to be a good match because we have not seen some of the disciplinary challenges, as there seems to be a yellow card which was given to Ndiaye. That is only one yellow card in the first half. And what happens, guys, as we have come across the UEFA European Women's Championship 2025, France here were unable to capitalize on the fact that they were the first to score immediately. Germany got a red card. Surprisingly, that was a penalty at 14 minutes that gave France the opportunity to score a goal against Germany. But Germany did not give up. They still stood their ground. They were determined, they were focused, and immediately after 10 minutes, that was exactly at 25 minutes, we saw Nusket score their own goal to make it 1-1 draw, despite Germany playing at 34% ball possession. France have dominated wholeheartedly throughout, but it was never going to be that way, as France leading throughout the first half. We keep saying congratulations to Germany, even if at the end they don't win. They have done something remarkable that France in a hurry would not forget. That is something we need to like see it as a real football in a real manner, in a real mindset. Now, based on the fact that we have already seen the challenges between South Africa and Senegal. Senegal here have played three matches with South Africa, where back in 2012 we saw Senegal in the CAF Women's African Cup of Nations beating South Africa beating Senegal 1-0, and in 2024 during an international friendly two legs we saw South Africa beating Senegal away with 2-0 and 1-1 draw at home. So we can see that South Africa has the psychological advantage over Senegal. And if Senegal wins this game, guys, it will be a surprise and a major upset in the WAFCON tournament. We have seen it like the just finished match between Algeria and Ghana. In their match, they played 4, and Algeria were the underdog, losing 3 and winning 1. And Ghana being psychologically advantageous, gave us a strong challenge as it could still withstand the pressure from all angles, giving in. And now we got it as a straightforward fixture that will give us an unforgettable moment that we are going to be relying on even when we still see it as a plus. It's never going to be too late. The second half is there, and we are going to be bringing in some new elements that will be like determined to change the uh, structure of this game and make it to be of more positive vibes from where it's coming from. So if we are not meeting it right now, we should already wait for it to happen. And when it happens immediately, we are going to draw our conclusion that we have met the target, which I would like it to be like a frontal challenge where we are going to end in a extra time and officially penalty. We wish underdog can become dog this time around. It has proven and tested that all the teams that has football supremacy end up dominating, end up leading, end up qualifying for more better position, as we have already witnessed it from different angles. So it's left for South Africa to see if their supremacy over Senegal will be wasted. And it's left for France to see if their supremacy over Germany will be wasted, especially when they place 11 ladies against 10. This will be a disappointment and a tragic finish in a quarterfinal. Except so, we wait for the second half unsuccessfully. At this point, we are already rekindled and we are backing up our claims with a 0-0 challenge. Uh, Festus Yabo, we are already looking toward achieving greatness as we see uh, France leading the way as Germany. We really like to get into the concentration of heading toward the penalty shootout. It is now, and we got it all the way. We are up, guys. Congratulations to both teams for making things difficult in this outstanding tournament, as we could really imagine that at this phase, we could be counting the teams that we be playing the best match of the tournament to be no other team than Algeria, than the Ghana, than the South Africa, than the Sénégal. Soyez les bienvenus, mesdames et messieurs. C'est notre jour pour voir qui sera au demi-finale entre le Sénégal et l'Afrique du Sud concernant les joueurs qui nous ont gardés ici pour voir tout ce qui concerne cette match. Et maintenant, c'est pour voir qui sera parmi les demi-finalistes. Comme on a déjà vécu Nigeria, Maroc, et les Ghana. Ça va nous donner plusieurs opportunités de vécu un moment très très difficile. Ici, ça nous dira, on a vu comment l'Afrique du Sud, ils ont fait 4 matchs ici dans ce tournoi et ça nous a donné comme Ghana, ils ont qualifié pour la 4e finale avec 7 points. Avec 7 points et maintenant, alors si on a constaté que aussi l'Afrique du Sud, ils ont fait 3 matchs dans le groupe et ils ont qualifié avec 7 points. Et Ghana aussi, ils ont fait un puissant de performance à qualifier avec 3 points. Sénégal, ils ont qualifié avec 3 points. Jusqu'à ce niveau, ils sont élevés parmi les 3 derniers. And that is how we see it, guys. Senegal qualified for this phase through an eye of a needle as they were classified under the third best finishers. Third best finishers, that was the position of Senegal because Senegal qualified with only 3 points. If Senegal have qualified with 3 points, that is a big lesson for them to learn and focus on giving result because it's going to be another that it's going to be a U-turn for them to really sit off. Already 85 minutes going on and we can see it all the way as it is still standing with that blended atmosphere, keeping in all the way as a giant manifestation await with the total qualification in the tournament as it is now. So guys, let's get to see the lamplight as it is rotating and hovering the final session of the game timing. We have 4 more minutes till the end of this challenge, and the way the tactical squad of South Africa are delaying the strategies to put forward something more reliable, it is really questionable as we might likely see an intentional breakdown, a focus with all that happens to be an interesting challenge from the look of things. So let's keep the challenge up as we continue to see it up right away. We are now looking at 3 minutes counting on our own clocks. 3 minutes, and that will be giving us the more dynamic challenge to be seeing things oppositely in a more enjoyable ways as fans remains curious to see the end of this challenge. Fans remain very curious to see what will happen. If fans are curious, then the curiosity will end in joy and more revitalizing atmosphere that only conclude the semi-finalists. Let's go, South Africa. Let's go, Senegal. It's your turn. It's your turn to do it big time. Guys, come on. It's your turn. It's your turn to do it big time. Big time. Big time. Let's get on the score sheet and the balance as we see the propensity of getting the standard challenge in a more variable manner that could really speak for us and take the challenge up to the maximum point that zero remains untouchable, and the domain where we see some classification in the hands of the teams that deems it necessary to be clarifying us with South Africa versus Senegal challenge in the penalty shootout. Are we going to see a penalty shootout, guys? Of course, if we later on see something different apart from the manifestation, we are going to see penalty shootout. Senegal have tightened their belt, guys. Senegal are not here to be joking. We have once seen this in the African Cup of Nations, Cote d'Ivoire, as the Cote d'Ivoire themselves, they managed to qualify through the eye of a needle and they ended up lifting the trophy. Is this going to be Cote d'Ivoire in the women's football? As we can see, things will happen and things can happen. So we should not underestimate that fact. It can be very uh, critics toward landing it big at every timeline for a good manifestation, and that is one of the key moments for South Africa to really like intentionally give it a try and take a quarter final challenge to the semi-finals gateway. And guess what, guys? If that is 4 minutes being added to South Africa and Senegal, then we are already getting into extra time. It's extra time, guys. It's going to be extra time. We are going to see extra time loading. This is really a great match today. Nice commentary. Tell me what is the position spread. Thank you so much, Smart. Actually, the position spread right now stands a chance of seeing that we can observe from different angles that South Africa here are not leaving any stone practically unturned to make sure they are the favorite, as they are psychologically smart from their previous head-to-head matches. South Africa is playing 57 ball possession against 43, and when we come to trial, Senegal here defending themselves with 43% ball position have to shift to 2 corner kicks, 3 shot on target, 5 shot off target, and 2 yellow card. They have tried. That is a maximum trial from a caliber of a team like Senegal. Why South Africa, who seems to be the firm favorite with 74 winning probability, plays at 57% probability. A possession, 4 shot on target, 7 shot off target, and 3 corner kicks. This is where South Africa is lacking to undergo a complete metamorphosis by correlating the theoretical aspect of this game to practical. They are ineligible, they are inefficient to transform the theory they are dealing with Senegal, but Senegal are not really that easy to break because they are trying their best. Yes, Senegal have really tried because from the bookmarks and from the previous head-to-head challenges, we could not believe that by this time Senegal will still be holding up to a drawing position. That was something that we saw as an impossibility, but right now it's possible. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds to finalize. That's an injury for Senegal. We have 1 minute and 10 seconds to finalize. South Africa noisemakers will learn the hard way when they meet Nigeria. Comfort Oyese. That is why I'm saying. That is why I'm saying. If you remember, the Men African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire qualified as among the third best finisher. That is the position of Senegal in this tournament. Senegal have qualified as one of the third best finishers. That is passing through the eye of a needle. So that memory keep recurring that something here might happen because the tactical lineup Senegal brought in seems to be working perfectly for them. And we are going to be observing very soon, and it is coming to really let us understand something here, that the dogs are becoming underdogs and the underdogs are becoming the dogs. So right now let's head on to see South Africa in the WAFCON tournament. South Africa in the WAFCON quarterfinals 2025 as they goes on 0-0 for full time. That is it. Full time 0-0. That is what we expected to see here, as in the form of recalibration, reconstruction, and a better formula to get up and start moving. So finally, we can see it here. Full time, waiting, prolongation, awaiting, extra time. So let's see what happened in this extra time, because it's not going to be easy, guys. It's not going to be easy, as we understand better in the scenario that it has to happen from a better result to happen. What happens in the midst of um, France versus Germany? France versus Germany are heading into their own quarterfinal, and now they are 8 minutes into the injury time. France are unable to win Germany with 10 ladies. Germany got their first red card at 13 minutes. Since then, France were leading and Germany later equalized, and now they are heading on to extra time, while France are unable to defeat Germany. So that is where we keep the potentials and prepare for a penalty shootout. Penalty shootout here will be the gateway, and at penalty anything can happen. We can see what happens with Algeria. Senegal 2, South Africa 1. Is that going to be via a penalty or extra time? Sherifien, that will be good if we can see it at that margin, because we are awaiting extra time, and officially penalty. This game is a very tough battle, guys, because we can see that in the game so far, Senegal have gathered already two yellow cards by their name, and we saw Wolimata Jai, and that seems to be configuration to see that the match has ended in full time while we are wait. This is what we call quarterfinal. It's not what we saw between Nigeria and Zambia. Zambia happens to be the worst team in the tournament, just for the fact that nobody have conceded 5 goals to 0, 5 goals with no reply. That is Zambia. Zambia happens to be the worst team in the tournament. 5 goals with no reply. It's better you concede 5 goals in the group stage and you are eliminated than to go to the quarter-final, semi-final, and you concede 5 goals with nothing. Come on, how did you get to quarter-final? How did you get to quarter-final? This is a question mark on that type of performance. So that is just from a layman points of views. For us who are not playing football, for us who are analysts, we just want to call a spect and also hit the nail at the head. So the last straw on the Zambia's back was very terrible. It was very tragic. And I don't think any team will suffer that type of a defeat before the end of this tournament. We still have how many matches to go? We still have semi-final, that is 2 matches. Third position, 3 matches, and final, 4 matches. We still have 4 matches to go. 4 matches to go, 4 matches to go. And that is where we are going to see the interesting part of the game. France, Germany are still breaking boundaries. They are still breaking the strategies on how to build on it and make it happen wholeheartedly from where they are coming from. And that will be a significant gateway on how we can build momentum and still get into concentration. So let's say as we plan for a penalty live show. We plan for a penalty live show because it's not going to be easy, though we lack the capabilities to get enough data, only lacking visuals, but verbally and live score update, we are capable of broadcasting and bringing to you all within the same timeline. So let's continue to build up that prospect. Let's continue to see as we resume the game. Extra time resume, guys. Extra time resume. Extra time resume. Extra time resume as we got it up. Extra time resume as we got it up. Extra time resume as we get it here. We could still believe that we could get it all in one angle, but it is still mentioning some criteria that we be looking forward in giving us the extra time here, which we are excited to be in and see what we need to observe from different angles as we call it a day in the getting to a serious challenge. So let's get it up as we continue to build back our own timeline and our own recalibration, reconstruction. It will rather be a game for us to see the trophy this day. What's going on? It's extra time going on, bro. It's extra time going on, and that is it. If we can see extra time at this angle, it's extra time, and we are boiling very high temperature for the look of things between South Africa and Senegal, with all joy in our heart, looking toward to claim a Senegal challenge here. If Senegal challenges South Africa. This is a definition of underdog becoming the dog, because it has happened before. It has been tested and proven, and today we want to see it once more. We want to see it once more. We want to see it once more, and it is going to be a take and give. That is it. We can see France ended with uh, a challenge of draw. France ended with a challenge of draw, and that is a good one as a quarter finalist. As a quarter finalist, as they were unable to win uh, Germany 10 ladies, 10 players on the field. That is really a disappointing challenge. They are awaiting extra time right now. Let's get it up as we see the concentration. And if that is what we are up to, then we should already see it as a plus for Germany to reach this stage without conceding more goals from Germany. I always said this, that a good team will play very well even as 10 against 10 against 11. 10 against 11, and they will win perfectly. But a bad team will not be able to make it past that level because they are not competent enough. So that is the manifestation, and we look forward in giving in the respect, look forward in giving in the uh, accuracy in the objective, where we see it all in one angle. So let's see it right now as we see substitution. If Senegal have started running some key substitution here, at least we can see it as a means of bringing in some key elements that might change the game scenario for us and for both. So guys, that will give us the understanding that we need to see in the gateway toward finalizing the first half of extra time. And we are not going to really relent our effort to make sure we leave no stone unturned That's a goal. C'est le but. L'Afrique du Sud a fait déjà un but à zéro à 97 minutes. Ça, c'est le but. C'est le but. And that is a goal. That is a goal. That is a goal. We got it here. We got it here. 97 minute, 97 minute goal, 98-minute goal. That is it. We got a goal here, and we could still get it at any time. Extra time goes in to shovel and shake Senegal up. Goal cancelled. Goal is cancelled. Goal cancelled. That is it. We got it. We got it. Now, Senegal still holds the opportunity to arrive at the semis. Senegal still holds the opportunity to arrive at the semis, and that is way forward for them. It backups and don't commit any further errors. We are ready to meet the big mounted Nigerians with nothing to show in practice. Actually, Daniel, with that statement, the big mounted Nigerians, for me, when something is good, we need to accept, we need to like appreciate. Nobody have beaten the opponent 5 goals to 0 in this tournament. Highest was 4 goals to 0 during the group stage, but 5 goals to 0 in quarterfinal is exceptional. So we need to applaud Nigeria. We need to clap for Nigeria. Understand? Come to South Africa, you never go back to 15 Nigeria. Yeah. This is football we are talking about. When a team is good, it's good. We need to accept, of course. What's there is Sosa, and Sosa is love. We are sharing. That's already 100 minute, 100 minute, and France and Germany are back into action to really rectify what was not done in the official timing. Right now, we are waiting for 5 more minutes to conclude the first half. The uh, re- redirects and beautify every moment that goes with it. And if it is now, oh, we have seen already a goal uncancelled. A goal uncancelled is a call for a wake up. It's a wake up call. A goal uncancelled is a wake up call. As I said, it's a wake up call. So Senegal need to be more careful at this point. Same as Ghana need to be more careful because we might likely see something different. So if we are ready to get things up, we should already see it as a plus, and that will be an advantage. As I earlier said, when a team is good, they are good. For now, we can see what is going on between South Africa. Someone should please give me a site I can watch the game. Francis, actually, we are facing challenges with this WAFCON of a thing. It's really scarce to see the coverage online. So it's really scarce to see the coverage. Uh, Dania said, South Africa, the paradise of Africa, everything is just bonga, bonga. until you come here. Sometimes you think you are in America, you never see N1, N2, N3, N4 anywhere in Africa except Fit and Bonga Bonga. Okay, Nigeria will trash South Africa if they meet in this competition. Nevertheless, I don't see South Africa beating Senegal today. You got the point Sunday, and I will say it again and again. Senegal might be a stumbling block. There might be a very difficult nut to crack for South Africa today. So let's wait and see what happens. At the end, scratching South Africa but wanting to come here to live in South Africa paradise. No problem. We are in the Sosa, but we know whoever wins, we celebrate with them. That's just Sosa. That's just Sosa, and Sosa is love. So no hard feelings. Even when it happens that they could not make it up, they still stand a chance of uh, sharing pleasantry and exchanging uh, their their jerseys. We can see love in between Zambia and Nigeria. What happened? What took place? That was what we call love because they exchanged pleasantry by exchanging their wills. The world is in South Africa. Nobody argues. That is good. All is in Africa. So it's good. It's good we have it there and we continue to push forward to expatiate and build our branches where it's necessary. So now we are seeing 104 minutes. We have 30 more seconds to end the first half of the extra time. 100, and we got another substitution. Now let me give you an update, guys, from the amount of substitution that has taken place. From the amount of substitution that have taken place between South Africa and Senegal, we can see some good understanding and some good timeline. Since they resume play, Senegal have substituted how many players already, and South Africa have substituted how many players already. From the look of things, Senegal have substituted Kaka 4, replacing with Fatori Mata Dram, while South Africa brought in Amonjelang Masego Matau, replacing Sibulele Hawini. And that is how we see the continuation of the feat on how some better players are coming in to really take their place and finalize details and bring in concern based on what we have on ground. So at this point, we still make it here for the sun to shine. And if we are making it here for the sun to shine, we are not like covering up. We only see 106 minutes already played as Senegal goal has been registered, but we don't know how that happens. In some side, we are seeing Senegal 1, we are seeing South Africa 1 and Senegal 0. We don't know how that happened. We don't know how that happened. And right now, we should really observe what is happening. Where did Edgar Lungu and Rwanda generals retired? South Africa, yes. Kabila retired South Africa. Yeah, South Africa is a place to be. What is happening? Bojok, 1 minute of extra time, 1 minute of injury time. I can't wait to see South Africa versus Nigeria in the semis. Nigeria gonna trash them for sure. But have they already broken down Senegal? They are still facing Senegal. So we let us just give it a moment here to see what happens. Since the 90 is counting on some website and not counting on some, so we don't really know what is happening. If the game is counting on some website and it's not counting on some, there is something that we need to verify. There is something that we need to really check on for this atmosphere, because right now South Africa still dominate. South Africa is still dominating, but what else are they doing rather than dominating? Are they scoring? No. Senegal are being dominated. Are they scoring? No. But there's some technicalities we need to see right now as South Africa pull out Bade and bring in Diallo. Senegal pull out Bade and brought in Diallo, while South Africa went on to substitute Matau with Tandy, all coming in right away to see how we finalize the first half, while Germany and France are still cooking their own pot at 100 minutes as they move majestically, gently. Dans le gars, c'est déjà la fin de cette première match. On verra la deuxième mi-temps de cette prolongation qui va nous donner le résultat, parce que ça va nous dire dans 15 minutes si l'Afrique du Sud va gagner ou le Sénégal vont gagner, parce que c'est un match très très difficile, c'est un match fort aujourd'hui pour voir ce qu'on a vécu. Voilà le commencement de deuxième mi-temps de prolongation. Le commencement de deuxième mi-temps de prolongation. Voilà les œuvres qu'on est en train de dérouler jusqu'à pour amener là où ça va nous donner tout en fonction de tout en fonction. Et si ça nous donne un peu de motifs, c'est juste pour relancer et c'est juste pour construire quelque chose de puissant, quelque chose d'oriental, comme on peut voir maintenant en allant quelque chose plus fier d'être au quatrième fier, nous donner so guys, that is where we continue to see what is happening as we see the simultaneous action of South Africa versus Senegal. Probably we believe that the substitution that is being carried out can help the situation, but how far are we sure that both teams are not struggling to see it off with a draw? Yes, everybody is trying to end in a draw. Uh, everybody is trying to play in a draw so that we keep in moving and keep the process coming to really be on the ground. That's fourth corner kick of South Africa. And what is happening? Are they dealing with it that way, or they are just practically seeing something that is exceptional? Fifth corner kick of South Africa. We have seen a lot of wasted opportunity by South Africa. A lot of wasted opportunity without converting one into a positive opportunities. What happened? We need to really recall it. We need to really back up the claims. When things like that takes place, we can still recommend some key players that are on the bench and are fit for the challenge to take on the position and do something better than what has been done so far. But that remains a storyline to be explained further in what we call justification for a more concerned timeline. So let's see how we are going to take off from here until we meet it at the challenge timeline. So that will still remain something more crew in the world challenge. That's already a second corner kick for Senegal as they try more dangerous attack here. More dangerous attack. That will be a most primordial timeline for us to be so concerned and enjoying the prospect even when we have minimum time left. And we are asking to see if we can conclude or we can finalize all that matters. Dangerous attack by South Africa. The challenge is still intensive at 110 minutes. Video review penalty. We got penalty here for South Africa. We got a penalty here for South Africa. That will be the end of Senegal. That will be the end of Senegal. Come on, Senegal. What happens that you commit such an error to be defeated at this timeline when we knew things have already worked out for you? We knew things have already worked out for Senegal. Let's let's see if there will be a penalty. Let's see if there will be penalty for Senegal, for South Africa to mark their name. It will be a sad situation for Senegal to have built their momentum, built their effort, and this timeline, and they are falling prey to South Africa. Although it will not be really strange because um, supremacy will apply when the Lionesses of Teranga are not backing down, holding the defending champions in the scrotal walk. They be a twist and straight to the penalties. And we can see how the VAR will decide here to either give South Africa a penalty against Senegal. We have 2 minutes of injury time for France with Germany to finalize their timeline, while we still look forward in guiding the penalty toward coming to a revelation, coming to a standpoint. Will that be a penalty, guys? Want to see if it will be a penalty, because it's time for us to still cook it. So that will be a penalty review for us to still stand a chance of giving a prospect and more concerning a challenge where we are running the race wholeheartedly to really be on the front line as we await the penalty review at 112 minutes. As South Africa keep running multiple substitution, we can see Gamede going in, Ramalepe retires and Sadogo goes in. that still remain the effort they are putting in. If Ramalepe could not make it to the end, it means things are really tough. It means things are really in the fearful challenge, and that will give us all a smart move that we are seeing here. And Senegal, if care is not taken, are going to be backlash by a penalty that will end up not rescuing them in a more exciting minds for us to conclude and build up strategies and structure. So that is where we see Senegal rising to 4 no more, as finally we didn't see game played, and that will be something more peculiar in giving us and concerning in this atmosphere. If it was a game for us to see, that's a continuation of France versus Germany, as penalty will show up very soon for us to re-examine. Amadi Traore, the game continues, no penalty. The game continues, no penalty. No penalty, the game continues. We are still hanging on, and we want to see what happens as we continue to when we for a more contextual gateway in a more free-minded challenge. And if that is the curtain raiser for us, then we need to like look into the concentration and see if we can build something out of it. Bien, France. Yes, France. France. But technically, France will go to penalty and might not be able to win. And that is it. For now, we are trying to break it down for better understanding, if that is what is going to happen. For a more interesting game timeline, 117 minutes. We have 3 more minutes to go. We have 3 more minutes to go. We have more minutes to go, and we are especially looking forward in getting what is up at that point where we think it's key, and it's so consigning for a match challenge like this. It's good for us to already plan for another challenge that will be in form of uh, penalty shootout. So let's see what to expect as we hunt up. And that will be some sort of a priority for us to get it as we finalize the game. That will be the more important challenge for us to keep up. And that is going to set for an amazing and an interesting upset of that manner for us to continue seeing it all in one angle. So that is it. Offside. We are already gearing toward the end as 120 minutes comes here. 120 minutes comes here to give us a vivid challenge. No, that will be a clear understanding, and we call it a deal. Let's see the final whistle as it happens here. Really be interesting to see that we're getting it up at all angle, trying to build on the momentum that we are going to be given with what we call the challenge. 1 minute to go to the end. 1 minute to go to the end. One minute to go to the end of the game. Substitution. This substitution now is taking those who will be playing penalty, and that is a yellow card for France. France is having more minutes to go. France is having more time to go as we want to see it all in one angle. And if it is happening right now, we want to see it and we want to observe from distance and how proper it can be for a more concerning strategy that we look forward. So had it been we built up that manifestation and await for penalty will be the best strategy ever for us to see it stand till. That is end of extra time. End of extra time. That is it. That's end of extra time. Congratulations to both teams for standing their ground. Congratulations to both teams for standing their ground to be at this phase where we are already landing it big in their own hands, in their own jurisdiction, to be so calm and understanding. So that will be the main strategy for us to relinquish and respond vividly to what we call manifestation of the game time. So we prepare for penalty, guys. We are preparing for penalty shootout. We are preparing for penalty shootout. When we prepare for penalty shootout, we are equally preparing for penalty shootout that will be coming up soon. So we prepared for everything as we see the game coming in straightforward to make it here for the sun to shine. Here for the sun to shine. It's our turn and we want to make things happen. We want to make things happen. Happen. And it is going to happen. South Africa. Let's go, guys. South Africa. This is the battle line that we just be drawn. And are you ready for the whistle? Are you ready for the dance step that Senegal are going to give you here? Because it's going to be a really bit difficult and challenging. This is one of its kind. This is one in a million. This is what we have seen for a long time. And if today we are seeing it, we said congratulations to Senegal because they did it. Yes, for Senegal to have reached this stage right now, they are the winner of this game, not by goal margin, just by performance, because this is a surprise. This is a surprise. It's a surprise challenge. So it's just like something different is happening. Come on, guys. Something different is happening here. And we want to see what we really look like. What the challenge will really look like in the penalty shootout. Because we are going to be thrilled and delighted to see the type of manifestation that they will put on here in giving us that understanding that we call in for a more vivid challenge as we await penalty. So guys, we are up and we want to see what will happen. France have already finalized their game. And we are delighted to see that they are bringing in something more key and flexible in their own makings, even if they could see it the way we are seeing it, it will still be better. That is a goal. Senegal is already up. South Africa breakdown for us to see it in their constitution. Their concentration. As concentration goes on, we are not going to be leaving any stone unturned to see that we gear up to the challenge as South Africa give us all it takes and all we can see. That is the first goal from South Africa coming in. South Africa have scored their first penalty, guys. South Africa have scored their first penalty, and now we move to the second penalty to see what is happening. That will be Ghana to play now. Ghana need to play their own penalty. Ghana scored. Ghana scored penalty here. Ghana scored. It's 1-1. We are looking for it. It's 1-1 right now. It is 1-1, guys. Penalties is 1-1. 1-1 here as we get up to the show. 1-1. It is the challenge that we see that gives us the momentum. And we are going exceptional to see it happen. Senegal. Let's see South Africa's second shot. South Africa scored. That is the second goal. South Africa scored. That's the second goal. That's the second goal of South Africa. And we are leaving it to you guys. And we could see the first goal of both teams coming in to rescue and to see it why Germany are also doing it their own ways. Germany are also doing it their own ways as they have 3 more minutes to go to finalize their challenge. They have 3 more minutes to go. Let's get to focus on South Africa and see what happens next. We got it here. That's already 2 goals to. We can see the first penalty of South Africa scored. The first penalty of Senegal scored. Let's see the second penalty. The second penalty of South Africa scored. And the second penalty of Senegal is now. Let's see if they are going to score the second penalty of Senegal to go in. Second penalty of Senegal to go in right now. Let's get it, guys. Branco. Dlamini scored the first penalty of South Africa. Dlamini scored the first penalty of South Africa. I'm going to be recounting the story. Senegal missed, guys. Senegal have missed their second penalty, and that is way forward. Branco, Senegal miss. Come on, Senegal. What's happening? What is the deal? Senegal have missed their second penalty. What is up? Senegal missed their second penalty. It's hard. Shuan Kazo, it's very, very difficult. Senegal have missed their second penalty, and we could see Diop. Diop scored the first penalty of Senegal, and Makhubela scored the second penalty of South Africa. Now, let's see the third penalty of South Africa. They score 3 goals to 1. 3 goals to 1. Penalty scored. 3 players of South Africa scored. And 1 player of Senegal missed it here. And we still see the ascension as we wait for the challenge to pick up and bring us the correlation and the metamorphosis, as it will be a crew action by default as we win seeing the third player of South Africa to come in right now and rescue them with 3 goals to 1. We are waiting for Senegal guys to bring in what they know and what they hold. What they know and what they hold. That is a miss. It's game over for Senegal guys. It's game over. What happened? Come on. Senegal are not good in penalty, guys. We can see Ndiaye and Ndiaye throw the penalty out. Now let South Africa score and call the game off. Let South Africa score and call the game off, because this is really not what was expected. As I was saying, football supremacy will forever be there. Yes, football supremacy will forever be there. We already said it before that South Africa will be dealing with Senegal via a penalty shootout. And now, here's it. South Africa team are no good, but they are doing it their own way. The third goal of South Africa was scored by Sagado. Sagado, and that is the fourth penalty of South Africa to come in. South Africa fourth penalty is here. Let's see what goes in. South Africa fourth penalty is here. Let's see what goes in. As we try to redefine, we try to recreate, we try to understand the deal. South Africa scored the fourth penalty, and that is game over, guys. Let Senegal player go and throw this one out so that we call it the day. 4 goals to 1. Yes, 4 goals to 1. That is game over for Senegal. Football supremacy, it remains a tradition. Yes, it remains a tradition, because South Africa have always dealt with Senegal on numerous occasions. It's not just today. Win, 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 Branco. Yes, that is the end. South Africa win with 4 goals to 1. Congratulations. 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 Congratulations, 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 congratulations. So guys, we got it here, as South Africa have won the quarterfinal of the Football Women's African Cup of Nations knockout stage, where we started the game with officially playing full 90 minutes, seeing the game up to the standard challenge, where we thought it was going to be a penalty for the advantage that could be presented to Senegal, but Senegal unfortunately lose to uh, South Africa with 4 goals to 1. 4 goals to 1, and that is way forward, as we could not really get to understand anything further than what we have seen from the look of things. So let's see what is up right now. Let's see what is up. Let's see what is up, as we see the like of Germany still building on, and we want to see how Germany start their own manifestation right now. It was a good game. South Africa tried, but they failed. Yes, South Africa tried, but Senegal tried, but they failed. And we say congratulations for South Africa. Congratulations for South Africa for taking it to the next level, meeting the like of Ghana, meeting the like of Ghana, Morocco, and Nigeria. So it's really a good start and a good end. Welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. So that is it, as we want to see, guys. Germany are up, and they are trying to reduce the stress here, as we got it. So let's get it at this point. So guys, at this point, we have witnessed what has happened in the African Cup of Nations Challenge in the women's categories. Now, South Africa have evolved and they have succeeded in winning the first penalty by Janini, and the first penalty of Senegal was being played by Job, and that is a 1-1. The second penalty of South Africa was scored by Maro Bella, and we saw the second penalty of Senegal. They missed it out with Jai, and that is how we see 4-1 challenge here at the men challenge.
Go to your bed to come later, please.
Let me go out.
Now that's done.
Yeah. So that is where we could back up our claim, guys. Taking this challenge right away and see what we be. Choy, this heat no fit contain me, Masama go. Eat too much. Yo, bro. Now welcome. Wait. Deborah, please let me pass. Deborah, shake. Go. So guys, that is where we finalize the show by getting to that is already France versus Germany.
Chance after if you just
Yeah, I'm not finished. That is already France leading here. Germany leading against France with a much margin, 2-1. 2-1, and it's going to be an interesting challenge, an interesting gateway for us to continue seeing it that way. And that is something we could see as an understanding. So we could really get it at this point when Germany is winning 10 men, 11 men of France, a challenge that has hardly happened. That is a way forward as we continue to see Germany to pull it in with that concentration. France scored their third penalty. That's giving it 3-2, and it's going to be lacking here with a concentration of 2-2 penalties left. 2-2 penalty left. That will give us enough reason to be up the sky, knowing fully well Sénégal du courage, nos lions. Les lions sont échoués. Les lions sont échoués ici. Et ça nous a fait un jas parce que on pensait que les lions ils vont faire quelque chose un peu différent, mais ils ont échoué ici. Ça pouvait nous donner une prétention à voir. Mais maintenant, c'est de là qu'on réagit que ce n'était pas possible pour gagner ici. And that's how we focus to finalize the game between France versus Germany, as Germany right now are already leading with 3-2. While they lead, we also are not leaving any stone unturned to see how France will be equalizing with their fourth penalty here. France will be equalizing with their fourth penalty. France will be equalizing with their fourth penalty, as we want to see it here in the European challenge. Fourth penalty, fourth penalty, and that is how we are looking at the game itself to be in a standard timeline where a red card will have been an ultimate. That is already 3-3. France now equalized, and we have one more penalty. If that is it, Germany scored 3-4. Let's see if France will be scoring at this point. If France score at this point, that means we go round again. If France score at this point, that means we are going to go round again, round again, round again. So that will be the strategies we might be seeing that we worked out, as France is intending to play the last penalty. Either they equalize or they give the opportunity for Germany to win. Either they equalize or they give the opportunity for Germany to win. That's Germany to play right now. That's Germany to play right now. Let's see it as it goes here. That's Germany to play. Germany score. That is a one challenge where we see 4-4, 4-4, 4-4 here is already getting on to see a clear challenge. We start back afresh. That's 4-4, 4-4. An interesting one there from Germany. An interesting one there from France, as they could give us the tactical challenge and the tactical layout in a more understanding manner.